All right, is everybody ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I call this regular council meeting to order. And could we call for a certification of the quorum, please?
Mayor Jason Knight,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Randy Haskins.
Here.
Councilmember Ruth Amarillo Smith,
Here.
Councilmember Elise Chacon,
Here.
and Councilmember Luana Martin.
Here.
Mayor, there is a quorum of the council present to conduct this meeting.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And could everyone rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance? And the invocation will be given by Shelley Ibarra.
Father God, we give this meeting to you. We ask humbly to give wisdom on every situation that comes before the council now and in the future. Your word says if anyone lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, and it will be given to him. So we ask and say you are faithful to honor it. Lord, be a present help to all who work and volunteer in any way for the city of Aransas Pass. Bless them, Lord. Bless and protect every child in Aransas Pass. Bless each family. Guide every business owner, Lord. Father, and I agree with Ruth, Father God, we need rain. Please continue to send it. Please fill up our watershed. And I thank you, Lord, for all you do, seen and unseen. In your precious name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, now we're going to go into announcements.
There are no announcements today, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. All right, now we'll go into board and commission appointments. And first will be Aransas Pass Crime Control and Prevention District.
Yes. The first board, as you said, is the Aransas Pass Crime Control and Prevention District. Terms are expiring for Terry Stansberry, Donald Boats, Carol Salinas, and David Harris, and all are seeking reappointment. There is also another vacancy due to the resignation of Juanice Butler. Her term is to September 1st, 2026. We have received one application for consideration to this board, and that is from Ms. Larissa Rios.
Okay. All right, and do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to appoint Larissa Rios to Aransas Pass Crime Control and Prevention District.
Second.
Well, and how many do we have that are seeking reappointment?
That is, I mean, if the council wants to fill the vacancy, you can do that now, but then we would need another motion for the reappointments.
I second her motion.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now do we have a motion to,
I'll make a motion to reappoint
Yeah.
Terry Stansberry, Donald Volz, Carol Salinas, David Harris with a term of September 1st, 2027.
okay, we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries. Okay, moving right along, we're going to the Aransas Pass Municipal Development District.
Okay. On this board, terms are expiring for Karen Gale, Ram Gomez, Vincent Kluss, and Mrs. Gale and Mr. Kluss have both indicated that they're wanting to seek reappointment. There is also a vacancy due to the resignation of Liz Doris.
Okay, we have a motion.
Oh, let me just add, I'm sorry, I apologize. We did receive board applications from Myron Schrader, Liz Bailey, Hope Davila, and Mr. Doug Goyer.
Okay, all right, do we have a motion?
We have one vacancy?
Well, you have
Two.
two. There's terms are expiring for Karen Gale, Ram Gomez, and Vincent Kluss. Mr. Gomez is not seeking reappointment.
Okay.
And then you also have a vacancy created by Liz Doris. So if the two members are reappointed, you have two seats to fill.
Okay.
I make a motion to reappoint Karen Gale, Vincent Kluss, to 2-year terms to September 30th, 2027, and the new appointments of Myron Schroeder and Hope Davila.
A second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries. Okay, now moving into Planning and Zoning Commission appointments.
Okay. On the planning and zoning, we do have 2 vacancies due to the resignations of Juanice Butler and Liz Doris. Ms. Liz Bailey has submitted a board application for this board.
Okay, do we have a motion?
I make a motion to appoint Liz Bailey to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Hold it, Mayor.
Oh, sorry.
Carol.
Excuse me, I just have a question about the last name. Is it Bailey or Brady?
Oh, yes, you're right. It's Bradley.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
So
Okay.
there is still 1 more vacancy on the planning and zoning, but we'll look for, we'll bring back additional resumes.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, now we're moving into citizens' comments.
You're it.
My name's Donald Brummett, 902 South Rife. Mary, I need to tell you, you've got a lawsuit looking for a place to happen.
Excuse me?
You have a lawsuit looking for a place to happen. That Vector, whoever's driving that truck, is very dangerous. He cut me off at Goodnight and Commercial. I was in the turning lane and he was beside me and he cut in front of me. And then the other day I saw him going down McClung. He hesitated at a stop sign. He didn't stop, but he's driving that truck like it was a tank.
Was that today? When was that? When did that happen?
A couple of days ago.
What truck are you talking about?
Said the
The
Vector.
Vector.
The
The Vector
vacuum
truck.
truck.
Oh,
Do you have a date on the first incident as well?
I would have called the street department, but you can't ever get a hold of him by the street department.
But you said that was 2 days ago?
On McClung Street, yes. But this was at Goodnight and Commercial about a week ago.
We'll look into that, Mr. Brummett.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks,
We
Bob.
hurt somebody.
Okay, anybody else wish to speak?
Steve?
Come on.
Don't be surprised, I'm not complaining.
No.
I've counted many times.
Oh, come
I know
on.
what it feels like. First of all, thank you for letting me speak on the subject I'm going to speak about because it's on the agenda, but y'all going to maybe table it because the gentleman's sick.
Do me a favor, Frank, state your full name.
Frank Bennett, I
Thank you.
own a house on 601 South Rife.
Okay.
I had a knee replacement. I'm not very sorry for me. I'm feeling sorry for Richard. I've worked with him for the last 2 years about being a better person. Got a heart this big. Problem is, he's got a mouth bigger. He doesn't know how to control it. And he's made a lot of enemies in this town already. And I've talked to him time and time again to quit, settle down, pick one fight at a time. You all know that. You know, and with this last city council he had a lot to talk about because there was a lot of stuff going on with, you know, people leaving. Oh my God, he could tell you stories you wouldn't believe. But I'm here because I feel sorry for the guy. I've never seen anybody work as hard as he does on that house. About 6 months ago, man, his back was killing him when he got shot. Okay, he was okay for about a week, and all of a sudden it got worse. So he goes back to the doctor, and then he got an infection in his back. They put one of the little ports, whatever it's called, in him. So he had to take a shot in the morning and a shot in the afternoon. I was told, don't do anything. Shit, no, excuse my language. Stay out of the sun. Well, he did it for about a week, and before you know it, he's on the roof, working. And you all are in a position tonight, or in the future, to fix what some of the other city council did wrong, or the mistake they made by accident. Whatever the reason is, it's on your table now. And that's the sad part about getting elected, because you have to take care of problems that happened in the past. I just hope that it's not whatever's going on in between people in that on my street, that had nothing to do with city government. It's their issue, it's not my issue. They're all good people. It's just, they got a little conflict, that's all it is. And that's between those two people. He does work his butt off over there. I can't tell you how hard that man works by himself because he can't afford to hire people. 15 years ago, I drove through this town 15 years ago looking for a house to remodel. I've been in construction all my life. I'm a retired electrician. And we're driving around. I'm 60 years old. My wife said, what about that one? I said, wait, time out, honey. Wait, time out. She said, what do you mean? Think about this. Let's say we buy it. We go to Lowe's, we get a bunch of lumber, we come over there, we stick it in the house, and we go home. You can't do it on the weekends. You can't do it unless you live here. Then because you live here, you can go in and out, in and out. So luckily at the same time we driving around and I found a house we're in now. They just put the for sale sign up that morning and that house was already remodeled. So that's why I got lucky. The only reason he got done as much he got done because he lives on that property. And you can't even see that trailer. I didn't know it was over there for 2 years. Now I've been in that place several times before. And for the work he's done is unbelievable. I choose to butt out somebody say, why, man, why don't you just build a one-story? What's wrong with you? It's like talking to a wall. You know that. But he is a hard worker, and he's very sincere about getting this. He got a plumbing inspection coming Thursday. You know, he's getting all the permits. He's doing everything the city asked him to. And it would be a quiet situation if he would have stepped quiet for the last 3 or 4 years. I'm telling you, I know. I've been at these meetings, listened to him, complained about it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I love the guy in one way, and the other guy I want to knock him in the head. You know, you all know that. JR, you know, Jason, you talked to the guy over the years. You over here last couple of years. You hear all this stuff.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but your
We got
3
one
minutes
boat.
are
Got
up.
another boat.
Yeah.
Got another boat anymore? He's a good guy here, but he's a bad guy when he speaks.
Yep.
I mean, he's really, and I'm telling you, all I'm asking for y'all to do is, I've been in construction my life. I've been in a house recently, and I know what it's going to take for him to finish it. And in all fairness to y'all, and I know y'all can do it because I've been on city council many a times where I'm from. Give him the variance, give him a time frame that's reasonable. And my suggestion is 3 years from where he is right now, and he'll be done, and you'll never have to speak to him again.
Okay.
Because I chewed his butt out. I said, look, if you get what you need today or tomorrow or whatever, I want you to promise me you're going to keep your damn mouth shut and stay on your property. You know, that's all he needs to do, and the town would be so much better for you to
Okay.
do that.
All right, Frank.
I love this
appreciate
guy.
it. Yeah.
Thank you for your time. Let me
Thank you.
come here. I know my wife was mad because I came down here. You know, I'm sure glad I'm not an octopus. 'Cause I already got both of them done, so I don't have to do that anymore. Well, again, thank you for your time. It really means a lot to me that you all did this. I know you didn't have to because it's really not you're going to vote for it in a little while. Ladies, thank you. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Frank.
Good night.
Hi, Frank.
Okay, anybody else wish to speak? No? Okay, now we'll move into staff reports and other discussion items.
Okay, the first one is, it's a presentation on the FY 25-26 proposed operating budget. Back on August the 4th, staff presented an overview on the budget, and at that time, we were facing a deficit of about $2.5 million. Following that meeting, I asked staff to go back and take a closer look at their budgets and we needed to identify additional cuts. It was not an easy task by no means, but it was a necessary step that we needed to do in order to balance the budget. But the whole entire process started back in June when we had our budget strategic meeting, where the council and city manager and staff worked together to prioritize goals for the upcoming year. From there, council held a public hearing to allow the community members to share their input. After that, city manager and the finance department met with city directors, the city department directors, over a week-long period. We reviewed and finalized both the operating budget and the capital budget, or the proposals, I'm sorry, the capital project proposals that they submitted. I do want to note that the operating budget that's being proposed today does not include any capital projects. Those projects will come to council separately in October for discussion and consideration. So now at this time, I'm going to turn it over to our finance director, Sandra, who will walk through the details of the budget.
Good evening, everyone. Here we go. Okay, so this is, we're going to discuss in brief detail our operating budget. Our general fund operating budget for FY26 is about $14.69 million. Our debt service budget is about $3.8 million. Proprietary funds, which is the water, sewer fund, the aquatic center, civic center, is $7.27 million. All non-major governmental funds, which are going to be municipal court has several funds for truancy, jury fund, building security, the E911, hotel motel. That's going to be $500,000 for special funds, which is going to be our crime control and our MDD board. We're looking at about operating budget about $2.8 million. Our revenues for the general fund only for FY26 are listed here in front of you. Property taxes, we're expecting to collect about $4.4 million. Sales tax is about $3 million, and then the list goes on. Our next highest revenue is going to be $1.3 million from rents and our IDAs, because we have some IDAs that we have. So those are all the revenues that are coming in to the general fund listed there. This next slide is our property tax rate. This property tax rate, as you can see, is what we currently have right now is 73.734997. What we're proposing is a slight reduction of 0.733163. The state allows us to increase, well, I'm not going to say increase, but you can go up to 3.5% for your maintenance and operation. That's what the state allows right now. And this reduction in property tax accommodates that. Okay, obviously our overhead goes up. We need to go ahead and do that. The next slide is a representation of our property taxes for the past 5 years. And you can see, Mayor, you've been here. Yeah. We've seen how we've taken the property tax rate from 2021 on down, and how much it has decreased. It has decreased. We have lowered the property tax rate 0.6 cents. Basically 6.6 cents in the past 5 years. On average, about a little bit over a penny a year, but we have diligently worked to lower the property tax rate every year since then. Now, the other departments are going to be coming up. It's going to be the police department, the fire department, and public works, and then I'll come back after they're done. Chief?
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, council, I want to push out what I'm proposing for this year with our budget. I want to start off with some stats that I put together to give you an understanding of what our department has been doing, what the officers have been doing. So we have 29 police officers, and that's including myself and patrol CID. We have 6 administrative staff, 9 communications officers, 2 animal control officers. We have 26 marked units, 16 unmarked units, and 1 boat patrol, 1 boat for harbor patrol. The stats I want to get into is for patrol. Our total cost for service for this year so far has been 20,263 calls for service. Reported assaults, burglaries, criminal mischief, fraud, theft, and motor vehicle thefts have all declined this year over last year. Traffic enforcement, we've written 689 citations, 2,379 warnings, and we've made 116 arrests based on traffic stops. Total arrests for this year, we've had 610 charged misdemeanors and 233 charged felonies. Of those, 102 felony narcotics arrests have been made, and 10 misdemeanor arrests for narcotics have been made. We have 5 officers that have just got finished certifying as a tox supervisor operator, bringing the number of certified officers in the department to 12. Those intoxilizer operators are essential to our DWI arrest. When we make an arrest, the suspect is afforded an opportunity to give a sample of their breath if they want to, and if they do so, that's where these operators come. Animal control. There have been 396 total animals handled in some form and capacity this year with animal control. We've had 42 animals adopted. 136 have been in the TNR program, and 74 animals have been microchipped. Some notable things that we've done this year. The harbor master has worked with a Randall Pass leadership class for renovations to the fish cleaning station, managed major repairs to the fishing pier and finger docks, and managed electrical repairs and upgrades to the city docks at Redfish Bay Boathouse. Emergency management has conducted numerous in-house training for our Randall Pass police officers, as well as other agencies that have included recently an active attack full-scale exercise at the middle school with 109 participants from various agencies participating in this event. Emergency management has responded to several incidents, including the Primera fire on Highway 361 East, as well as the Welder Complex and Railroad fire in Sinton, and they either established or assisted with establishing the incident command. As a major training provider in the area, our training division has conducted several training courses throughout the year. And we do have several instructors that do the in-house stuff. So into our operating budget. As you can see, the salaries and wages is the substantial portion of the budget, and that's $4,206,859. For travel and training, we're requesting $41,071. For supplies, $180,225. Utilities, $37,536. Capital outlay is $153,350. The software and subscriptions is $81,551. Our maintenance for our vehicles are $125,522. Insurance is $88,843, with a total operating budget of $5,319,455. Of that, $404,500 will be used with our drug fund to make purchases out of that. So on the right, you'll see that the Crime Control Prevention District has agreed to purchase our TASER 10 electronic control devices. It's a 5-year contract, and the total cost will be $153,350, and this will be brought before y'all later on in here for hopefully y'all's approval on that. We'll be using the forfeiture funds to purchase 2 vehicles, pay for additional travel and training. As I said, we are a major training provider, and we feel a well-trained officer is what's good for our department, and even better, what's good for the city. We're going to purchase 2 vehicles, up to 2 vehicles. Again, pay for the travel and training, protective gear, equipment, and contract services that we cut from the regular budget, and instead is going to pay for out of the drug fund, for a total again of $404,500. Crime Control has also approved up to $140,000 to purchase 2 vehicles for the police department as well, if approved by council.
All right.
I'm open for questions if you don't have questions. Well, I want to ask you a question then, Chief. Is there any way you can take that shine off your balls?
Yeah.
It's killing me. I can purchase a wig, and I can put a wig on. There you go. Thank you.
If you let me pick it out, the fire department will provide that wig.
There you go.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, City Manager. So this is the fire department's budget. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. There's our staffing, myself, 3 captains, an assistant chief and admin, 3 drivers, and 9 firefighters. That is our vehicle staffing right now, but we're anticipating that's going to improve this next fiscal year, and I'll get into that in the last slide. Next slide, please. These are our fire department statistics. Overall, we've had about 280 fire-related calls and 469 EMS-related calls. So just like any other fire department, we are EMS heavy on call volume. Next slide, please. Some of our notable accomplishments, as I expressed in a previous council meeting, we worked pretty hard to improve the city's ISO rating from a 4 to a 3, which should be a significant impact on the community. In fact, I had a local insurance company call me and request something on letterhead for some of their clients, expressing that our rating has improved for their insurance premiums. The second bullet might be premature, but it's something we're still working on. My vision for the department is to improve from a basic life support first responder organization to an advanced life support first responder organization. And I can get into more in that later if you like. We were awarded a grant from the Texas Forest Service for a Humvee from the Department of Defense pass-through program. And if you look out back behind fire department, it's painted nice, bright red and pretty right now, and we're still working on it, but as soon as the water tank gets here, we're going to make it into a little quick attack brush truck. So we're pretty excited about that. We implemented a new communications platform called Active 911, where all the firefighters have this platform as an app on their phone, and we can respond accordingly from that app. We're getting 2 new vehicles, a new fire engine, and a brush truck. We purchased all kinds of new firefighting, structural firefighting gear for all the firefighters. And then we had some other items that were just expired and out of date, like personal flotation life vests. We had the old orange, ugly, square ones. Well, now they have nice, professional, rescue-grade life vests. Next slide.
Let me just add that before we leave this slide, the reference to the advanced life support, that is still in discussions. Nothing has been decided on that. I just wanted to make that clear.
Right. It is premature. I should have taken that off of there. Here's our budget. And just like with all the other departments, when requested to go through our budget again and help out the deficit, some of our reductions included a reduction in our training fees, a reduction in our professional services. We had to eliminate the cancer screenings. Our lawn equipment maintenance budget, we eliminated that. We eliminated fire hydrant painting. We reduced our minor tools budget in half. We all but eliminated our fire prevention budget. We eliminated the discretionary reserve, and we eliminated the allocation for the volunteer program. All that does is reduce our capabilities without reducing service delivery. So that's where the only place we could find to reduce the budget. Since we do zero-based balancing, we don't budget for fluff. Everything that's in our budget is for a reason. But these are the areas that we identified as being able to reduce. So as it stands, what's shown is our proposed operating budget. Now the crime prevention or crime control board, they were generous, very generous, enough to purchase 19 radios and some mobile radios for the fire department. Oh, just like this one, we just got this in today. This is a demo of the exact radio we're going to get. And then the brush truck and the fire engine that we're getting. And then also today, as a new development that just happened today, we were informed that the Texas Forest Service, their grant budget is being increased by tens of millions of dollars. So a grant that we put in for back in 2018, we're going to be finally awarded that piece of equipment, and I think it was up to $300,000 for a new fire apparatus. So something that the fire chief, whoever that was back then that put in for that grant, did us a favor, because today we're probably going to get that thing in October.
What is it that you're getting?
A $300,000 reimbursement.
I mean, what
For-
apparatus is
It's
it?
probably going to be a water tender.
Okay.
So that's another good thing.
That's
I'll
great.
take any questions.
I guess how, are we making any progress on getting volunteers coming into the department?
So like I said, we did bring on one volunteer,
Okay.
but that's all we can do because now our volunteer budget is gone.
Well, I'd like to see what it would take, like, because I know we talked before about 5, possibly 6 volunteers.
Sure. That's going to be very difficult now because of budget constraints. We would have to buy structural firefighting equipment for them and then provide radios as well, and that's a pretty expensive endeavor.
Yeah, I'd just like to see just figure up some numbers on that, because that's something we really need to get back on here big time, because that will save. It's like we saw with the police, biggest killer in the budget's payroll. And I mean, if we can build up a combination department, have paid guys, and get, I don't know, 20, 30 volunteers down the road, that'd be a very good thing for town. And just wherever you get time, I'd like to see some numbers for 5, maybe 6 volunteers of what it would cost to outfit 5 or 6 guys.
I can come up with those numbers.
Okay. Yeah.
Out of the 79 fires, how many were in the city limits? And obviously, not that I don't want y'all to go to the county, just out of curiosity.
I'd have to look that up, ma'am. I can get you that number, though.
Okay, I'd like to know that. And then I had some other questions too. When we get the new fire engine, what are we doing with the old one? Are we keeping it, or are we getting rid of it?
The
Can we
plan
sell
is
it?
the plan is to auction it off.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. I don't want to keep putting money in it. We don't need to.
Anybody else got any questions?
I don't.
No?
Oh, you know what, I do have one other too. On, what is the response time if we weren't going to all the medical calls? What would be the response time behind us getting there for EMS to get there? Like, do you know, I mean, I know typically the fire department is first on the scene. I'm just curious, what is the lapse there?
I would have to get with Tri-County EMS and find out what their typical in-the-city response time is and bump that with our response times from the station. Typically, we get there a lot of times first, and it just depends on what their call status is, or their availability status is. If they have any ambulances in town available, if they're coming from a hospital or something like that. I mean, it could be quite a while.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I guess since we're on it, I know you put it on there, but I mean, I've just got to bring it out in the open. This this ALS program we're talking about. We've been doing the basic life support for quite some time now, which is a good thing. But, and I know we're going to discuss this more. I'm just bringing this out right now. But if we go ALS, what that means is the fire department could start administering IVs. They could start pushing a different amount of drugs, which means we got to get certain equipment for it. We'd have to get a medical director, have to pay him on staff. And that's pretty much why we have an ambulance service contracted, because if God forbid we went this route and someone with the fire department administered something wrong, city's liable for it. And right now, something happens, Tri-County takes all the liability, they buy all their equipment, they pay all their staff, they buy all their ambulances, they're taking care of all the maintenance. And but I mean, of course, we can still talk about it, but I just want to throw that out there, because this has been a topic going around for a couple weeks now.
Sure. So just to alleviate some misconceptions, we currently have a medical director. If we went to the ALS route, it would still be the same medical director.
But we'd have to pay him now.
No.
He submitted a revised contract last week.
Yes.
He submitted a revised contract where he would not be charging.
So originally, Dr. Blanchard advised us that he wanted to start receiving compensation for his services, BLS or ALS regardless. And now he's just let me know that he doesn't He just wants to volunteer his services to the city. So it would still be the same medical director,
Yeah.
and it would be under his ALS protocols. The equipment list is very minimal. Non-invasive drugs, basic diabetic medications, and start IVs, basically. Breathing treatments, albuterol, things that I can do as a paramedic that the basics can't do. And right now we have no mechanisms in place for myself or our other paramedic to operate as paramedics without this advanced life support first responder organization agreement that we have to renew with the state anyway in October.
Yeah, I'm just worried about this ALS because that'll open a door to where we could have every paid fireman want to be a paramedic, and right off the bat, the pay'd go up through the roof because training they'd be nonstop medical training. They'd be just like a paramedic working for an ambulance service. That's the problem. That's wherever I'm sitting up here, everybody sitting up here knows how I am. I'm constantly looking on saving, on stretching everyone's tax dollars and getting the best bang for their buck. And I could understand down the road if we had no debt payments, because I mean we just saw our debt payments for the next couple of years is pushing $3.5 million. If we had that extra in reserves, I could possibly see it. But I mean we're still good budget wise, but we can't keep piling on more and more, because every year we'll come back and the budget's going to keep exploding because departments are creeping up instead of flatlining and gradually increasing every year. And that's a big concern I have. But I mean we're still going to meet about this. You know,
Sure.
I'm just throwing it out there right now.
And I can't speak to how the council decides.
Oh, of course, I
how-
can't either.
Sure, I can't speak to how council decides on salaries or anything like
Yeah,
that.
I know.
My big concern is quality of patient care
I
and the
understand.
level of
I understand.
services.
Understand.
I have one more question for you too. We're taking our big trucks to all these medical calls. Do we not have just a pickup truck or something they could be using instead? Because I'm concerned about our other fire truck. The reason we're having to get one, I mean, I think it only has like 60,000 miles on it. And that just seems like a lot of money to be going on medical calls.
Sure. Ma'am, we do have a pickup truck. It's called the Squad that we use on calls. When we have the available staffing, they do staff it with 2 firefighters, and they do respond to those EMS calls. The fire engine does respond on more critical calls where it's all hands on deck kind of things, CPR, seizures, childbirth, that kind of, the more hands the better.
Okay. So the big trucks aren't going to every medical call?
Not on every medical call if staffing allows.
Allows.
Yeah.
Okay.
We did have a new pickup truck budgeted, but that was
Just
cut
take it
also,
off.
yeah.
Right. I just don't want to see us get a new truck and it, you know, I mean, we're doing all these calls and then we're at 60,000 miles again and we're needing another truck. That just it seems like that truck should have lasted longer than that. That's just and I don't know, maybe we got a limit, and I know with all the new stuff they put on all the diesels, we don't get the same mileage out of them, but it just, I want to get it, obviously.
Sure.
Mike,
concerned
I'm
about
going to
the budget of it.
add something to this also.
Sure.
We want you responding to medical calls
Yes.
and helping EMS out, because your guys know what they're doing. I'm living proof of that. Okay? The problem that we're battling with, Mike, up front is using that big truck is tearing up our streets, and we're trying to get those all done. As long as you limit to using that pickup, take 2 guys, and you got 2 guys at the station then, is it 4 on shift?
It's 5 on shift.
5 on shift? Okay, if 2 guys go on the emergency calls or the medical calls, you got 3 guys and a fire comes up, those guys can break and go meet at the fire, correct?
Yes.
And that's where we want to be with it, is doing that, and like she said, eliminating the wear and tear on our vehicles, plus the streets, because those are the worst things that we've got right now. We're doing all of the other stuff to get there, but nobody wants to take away your ability to handle medical calls either. We want you there.
Yeah. And you guys are great at that. You get there fast, the response time's amazing. This is just, we're having the budget meeting, so.
Sure.
That's what it's,
I'm not getting
you
the
know.
vibe at all that you want us to not go on medical
Yeah,
calls.
no, we
the
don't,
vibe
that's
I'm
not
getting.
it at all.
No way.
Absolutely.
My-
It's
my-
just trying to figure out where our money is gonna go best spent on how to get someone taken care of when they are hurt.
But then again, you have to account for vacations and all that stuff, and we have a minimum staffing of 4 on shift, so if there's a 4 on shift that day, the big truck goes.
Can two operate that big truck?
No, because of state law that says if there's a structure fire that drops, for every 2 people that go inside, 2 people have to be outside ready to effect a rescue. So we can't just send 1 person into a structure fire. It's not safe.
I wouldn't think that. I don't know anything about fires. I told you, I didn't fight them.
No, so unfortunately, nature of the job, the big truck has to go a lot of times.
But if available and you get a medical call, you're always gonna send the pickup truck out first? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question.
Sure.
Let me preempt this by saying that every life matters. Going back to the program that you will implement with the fire department, going further into the EMS program, if that program had been in effect this past year, how many lives would it have saved?
I can't forecast that at all. I
No,
can tell
I'm
you.
saying this past year. How many lives could it have potentially saved versus using TRICARE
Well, we're always going to use Tri-County.
or Tri-County?
Yeah, my goal is not to eliminate the services of Tri-County in any means. My goal is to just improve the service delivery from the fire department's aspect. Example, I'm a paramedic. There's 1 other paramedic in the department. If the 2 of us are on scene with Tri-County EMS, the goal is to be able to help them do advanced interventions with them. Probably using their things, their cardiac monitor or something, but not to reduce their services in any way or take away from them. This is a collaborative effort for us.
Okay.
You know, to be able to operate to be on scene on a CPR call with a basic FRO agreement in place gives me no jurisdiction to be able to do advanced life-saving measures. That's the importance of this.
Okay.
But what you know now and what your people know now, you can hold a scene until Tri-Care County gets there.
Which is what we currently do.
Yeah, I mean, that's feasibly working out great though, right?
Right, but we could do more.
And I agree, we could all do more, Mike, and I wish we had the money to give you exactly everything that you need, but.
So the
And I'm
proposed,
just gonna tell you up front, the reason we don't have that money is because of that $16 million deal that was done. That's hurt us.
sure. So the equipment list in this proposed program can be absorbed in my current EMS budget.
Okay.
Yeah, the only thing that can't be absorbed is liability. And I mean, I know for a fact there's liability when it comes to that. I mean, there's no skirting around it. I've talked to a lot of people in the state and out of the state about this, and that's the first thing that comes up is the liability that will be on the city. Number one thing is the liability, because we would have to have a pretty serious bonded insurance policy to cover the city if we got into this. I mean, I'm not against it. I'm not against you guys. I grew up around first responders. I mean, I grew up in this setting, so I mean, I don't want anybody to think I'm against the fire department whatsoever. It's just me personally. I'm not speaking for the council. I just got to look. I got to look out what's for the best interest of the city, liability wise and financial wise. And I think we'll just have to have some more conversations about this.
I
We'll jump
absolutely think
into
we
it.
should.
Okay.
You know, Mike, I want to throw this out there too, just to finish up. I think it would be very interesting if you showed us a plan, say 2 years down the road. Let us get out of the problems that we're in now, but say 2 years down the road, show us a plan of what you want and what you think it's going to cost and how to do it. Your fire, he's EMS, I'm EMS. I don't know anything about fire at all. And I know when I ran an ambulance service, we had fire run on our calls also, and they were much appreciated. Most of the time. There were sometimes they weren't. don't park a big truck in the middle of my 4-lane intersection and knock all the traffic out and cause me problems. But something about that would make us understand where you're coming from if you look at it 2 years down the road and give us 2 years to even think about working on that, or to work on toward that. Would that be something that you could possibly do?
I mean, I could do whatever council directs through the city manager. I can absolutely do that. My first responder organization agreement is due to renew in October with the state regardless. How I label that, really, I guess, is up to council and the city manager. Whether I label it as a basic life support or an advanced life support. 2 years from now, that's just 2 years where the city's not benefiting from paramedic or advanced life support services from the fire department on a scene. But
Let
I
me
can
ask-
absolutely do that.
That renewal that you're talking about, is it for a 2-year period or a 4-year period? What is that?
It's an annual
It's an
renewal.
annual thing, okay.
Well, we haven't had it up till, talking about it now. And I know people are getting older and things happen, but to say that we could have done it back before now and it would have been better, I can't say that. But I can look at the future and say, maybe we can work this out a little bit down the road, just given the opportunity to look at it.
Sure. And we haven't been able to do it in the past because I don't think there have been paramedics in the
Well,
past.
there hasn't been, no. But that's a new thing coming up, Mike, you know that. Bigger departments do it, but not smaller ones. Not here, anyway.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, and I think it's just you and Padron, isn't it?
No, sir. Me and another guy.
It's another guy?
Yeah,
I thought it was
yeah.
Padron. Okay,
Okay.
I have nothing else.
That's it.
All right.
That's it.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you,
Thank you,
Mike.
Mike.
Thank you.
Come on, Carol.
Carol Salinas, resident of Aransas Pass, and I just want to say I have a friend who lost her husband recently. When that happened at 3 in the morning, there were fire trucks, ambulance, police, everybody was out there. She lost her husband. That should put you in a very negative frame of mind, but she had nothing but positive things to say about every person that she encountered in that incident. Thank you.
Thank you,
For
Carol.
everyone.
Carol.
We believe they're all good guys.
Oh, yeah, they've been
Oh, yeah.
instrumental. I mean, just the same.
Hector Rios, 1044 South Commercial. With all the talk about the finances and lack of money, let's remember that the Fulton Oyster Fest supports their volunteer fire department. And they have one of the very best fire departments in the state, and I'm thinking they're up there and one of the very best in the entire country. So, I mean, if we could do something like that, start raising some funds by having festivals. Festivals do put heads in beds, which in turn we could start using possibly some of our hot tax in order to raise funds directly for our first responders. So just throwing that out there because Fulton Oyster Fest, they do it every single year.
Yeah.
They're attracting 25 to 30,000 people per year. If you take just $10, if just $10 per person, they spend it. And y'all know they spend a lot more than that. That could be a substantial improvement for our first responders.
Hector, I challenge you to do a crawfish festival.
I'm allergic. $20 the proceeds.
Thanks, Hector.
Thanks, Hector.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So Public Works Department, I'll go
I have
one by
to say
one.
something real quick.
Go ahead.
I like you even more with that shirt on.
Oh,
That was
thank you.
Cowboys.
No, I was expecting to get dirty today, and I didn't want to get any of my good shirts dirty, so I wore this one.
Oh, I just noticed that.
Yeah, so we got the streets and drainage, citizen collection, which is also known as the transfer station, public health, which is also known as the mosquito spraying department. We got mowing, administration, water production, water distribution, sewer collection, and sewer treatment. This is our staff. So street and drainage, we have 11 people. Transfer station, we got 2. We got 7 in mowing. Got myself, administration. 3 at the water production, 3 distribution, and 7 in the sewer collection. But those last 3 actually work together, so it's not like we have 3 over there. It's like when the demand calls for it, we'll team up and basically tackle one task if need be. But the 4 at the treatment plant, those are the 4 that stay independent at all times for themselves. Some of the projects we've either completed or at least began in terms of groundbreaking. We did the Lighthouse Lakes upgrading. We did the pump station at Maddox. We paved Wilson. Of course, our utility guys have gotten more TCEQ licenses. We did upgrade the water line from Greenwood to DeBerry. That was an ARP project. And Colonial Wastewater, which is also known as Sherwood. We did put that one on pause because we had to begin ARP Package 3. We actually have a deadline to use the fund, so I had promised that Grant Works would start in July. July passed, so we didn't start to August, so we've been at it this month, and hopefully in the next couple of months we'll finish that and go back to Sherwood to complete that. Some other projects that are actually down the pipeline, if you mind saying. We also have the Wheeler Pump Station. That'll be advertised in a couple of weeks. We have the Euclid Pump Station. That's still in engineering. We just passed environmental, so now we're in the design phase. And we are getting prepared to break ground for the Jackson Place drainage, which is going to help the Saunders and Beasley area. I know we had a subdivision that was being proposed back there, but of course, a lot of the residents had concern about drainage, so that actually brought this project up the pipeline. So we got that. The engineering is done. So all we're going to do is order the materials and begin construction there. Okay. Operating budget, the general fund, which is mostly just the street department, the mowing, things of that sort, that's $2.1 million. The water and sewer fund, it's $3.8 million, but out of the 1.8 million of that is actually to buy the water citywide. So the water we buy from San Pat, distribute for our residents to drink and bathe and cook with. That's 1.8 million in there. So if you subtract the 1.8 million, because we can't touch that money because we had to pay for the water, so it really brings it down to about 2 million for that department. And we are proposing one position because since we got the transfer station full time, we used to get one street department employee to cover the transfer station, then go back to the street department. They used to alternate days. Well, now he's at the transfer station full time, so we're just asking to replace that position at the street department. So basically, we're just trying to break even in that case. Total operating budget is $6 million and change. I think that was my last slide. Okay, yeah, so mine wasn't much. If you guys have any specific questions, I'll try my best to answer them. If not, I can get back with you and give you some.
I'm ready to do a cartwheel in front of my pump on Wheeler.
Oh, the
I'm
pump,
ready
yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
That made my day when you told me that.
Yeah.
It's been a long time in the works.
Yeah.
That
So right now, currently, Grant Works is reviewing all the documentation, make sure we have our I's dotted and T's crossed. So once they give us the blessing, we're going to start advertising. We are going to do more than just the minimum. I think the minimum is, actually I know the minimum is 14-day advertising, but I'm going to try and do the 28 or 30-day advertising because the more time you give, the more contractors have the opportunity to get pricing, especially when we're asking for specialized equipment,
Yeah.
A specific model, a specific brand. It gives them time to really get those numbers, crunch them, and hopefully we'll have a good turnout in terms of bidding, which means more competitive, which means better pricing, and so on.
I agree. Good times.
David, I'm gonna complain about the mowing.
Okay.
7 guys on mowing?
Mhm.
What are they doing?
Mowing.
Said your
Yeah.
deals are broke down, your tractors are
Yeah,
broke
we
down?
have 2 of our brush hogs down, so we have to get our boom mower to go cut right of way. So the guys aren't even cutting ditches right now; they're cutting right of ways until we get those brush hogs up.
Yeah, I heard they were using the boom.
Yeah, that's yeah. We do have on I think in our capital projects to get a new boom mower, but at the same time that's not helping that situation because when we proposed that was last year because we also have a boom mower that's always going down. So we're trying to replace that, and now we're getting brush hogs down. So it's a nonstop battle for.
Well, we just prayed for rain,
Yeah.
so we're gonna need those.
Mm-hmm.
You better go fix it.
We're gonna need those mowers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everybody else good?
I got nothing.
All right.
Yes.
How often are we spraying?
Hello, Council. Larissa Rios, 1044 South Commercial. How often are we spraying for the mosquitoes?
Yeah, so mosquitoes, it's kind of tricky because when the demand comes up for mosquitoes for us to spray, the state regulates when we can spray. The wind has to be within a certain speed, the time that we can't spray before a certain time. So honestly, as soon as the demand calls and we fit the parameters of spraying, we'll spray. So it varies.
Is
Yeah.
it considered like a pesticide, herbicide? Do we know anything about what we're
Yeah,
spraying?
yeah, it's a pesticide.
Oh.
Mhm. Yeah, but it's one that's used by all cities. So, yeah, of course.
Dave, can I ask David a question? That levee right there in between, coming in on, from it would be the south side to Ingleside, that you're clearing out, and one side's completely done, that trench. Why do y'all do that? Why do y'all take all that natural vegetation out?
The county did that. So the county helped us out on cleaning the Wheeler, the Maddox, and that whole pump area, and they took it upon themselves to do that ditch for us.
And do we have any idea what the reasoning is
No,
behind
I
that?
don't know. I think they probably saw they were probably ahead of schedule. They saw the vegetation growing, so they probably took it upon themselves to help us out. So they actually meant well by doing it. I saw it after the fact, and I saw that it's pretty bare there, and I'm not really too excited about it. But at the same time, the project was done at that point. Yeah.
Well, I'm a bird guy, so the natural vegetation, I was going to say something like that. But also, just recently, the San Patricio Navigation District tried to get on the tax row, or proposed to be on the tax row, and one of their biggest problems was the silt that's running into that channel. So that is definitely, contributing to that problem.
Yeah.
So that was my concern, is that they're using that as one of their purposes to get on the tax row. And San Patricio Navigation District has never, ever been on the tax row, and I don't want them to get on the tax row. That is how government should run. They use all their finances that they acquire from their boat rentals and all that. So that's why I was kind of asking about that, is specifically kind of gearing towards that. They're I'm not saying using that as an excuse, but that is causing a problem, and they're trying to get on the tax row, and I don't want them on the tax row. Now, Mr. Gillespie, I think he said that, that no, we're not going to do that and everything, but then again, I do believe this is an election year, so of course, we're not going to raise the taxes. But in the future, that's what I'm worried about, is San Patricio Navigation District, wanting to raise the taxes because they need money to clean out all that silt that's being caused by us cleaning that.
Sure. Yes, some of your concerns are a little bit above my pay grade, but one thing I do want to address is that part of the Euclid upgrade, we are going to build a retaining wall that's going to divide the navigation district from the McCampbell ditch. So right now, the McCampbell ditch has tide water, so as the tide goes up, the tide goes up and down. So we're actually going to divide that to make McCampbell into a dry ditch. So in terms of the silt, they should control some of that silt from going into the navigation district. But of course, it's on the design phase right now, so once it's complete, then we'll start the construction and try to solve the problem long term.
Thank you, David.
Thanks,
Okay.
David.
Thank you.
All right, so we just have a few more slides, and Sandra's going to come back and finish that.
Okay.
We're going to go through them really quickly. I promise. Okay.
Except one.
That's up to you. Okay, so these are the remaining departments for the general fund. As you can see there, that's our proposed operating budget and the number of employees attached per each department. If you want me to go through them individually, or do you have any questions about them?
I want to know where our $290,000 is.
That's a lot. That's not for you, sir.
You haven't even gotten your dollar yet.
$1 of that.
From there, I will say you do have 2 staff members, but all the community events, the fall feast, the 4th of July, those major events, all of that comes from that budget item. That's why it's a lot, because those events,
I was just trying.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right, okay. So our next slide is our debt service. Here you can see what our debt service is going to be looking like. You can see that it's going to start to nosedive. It's next year we're going to see a decrease in 27, 28, and every year all the way to 44. The only thing that's going to be out there, that's the last part of that, I would say back in 35, 34, is going to be the $16 million bond that we took out. That's going to be the last part of that. You can see that the green bar there is what MDD has. MDD is going to finish paying their debt service in 28. And then the lighter blue is the water and sewer fund. And they're going to be finished paying their debt service in 34. Okay?
That's granted nothing else happens.
Correct. Correct. Yes. The next is our water and sewer fund. This is our operating revenues that we're proposing is about $4.7 million. We do have three departments in that fund that weren't discussed earlier. The 1.2 for general is our debt service. That's what we're going to be paying for debt that's tied to the water and sewer fund. Then the utility billing and the meter readers, their operating budget, and the number of employees attached to those departments. The next slide is all the other funds. The harbor, the aquatic center, the municipal court ones, 911, hotel. These are our anticipated revenues and our anticipated expenditures for each of those funds. Do you all have any questions with any of that? And that's the last of my slide.
So just
Thank you, Sandra.
Okay, just to wrap it up, on the operating budget. So what the budget includes, it includes 2 new positions, one for public works and then one for municipal court. It also includes, or it provides for.
Is that the one for the warrant officer?
Yes,
That-
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And security.
It includes 1% COLA for exempt employees and then a 2.5% COLA for non-exempt employees. The budget is $29.1 million. The general fund balance is at 36.8%. It's slightly below the city policy target of 40%, but still represents a healthy and responsible reserve.
I guess that'd be a good question for Sandra. That way other people know, instead of the percentage, how much is the fund balance? I know, I don't want to put you on the spot.
Oh, she knew you were going to ask that. Okay. So while she's doing the math, let me just add that the adoption of the budget and the tax rate is scheduled for September 15th.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Scheduled for when?
September 15th.
Okay. Next meeting.
Yes, sir.
And you know what I'm going to ask.
And what is that?
On the COLA,
Yes.
you know.
Okay. I believe Sandra was also doing that
I know.
math.
It just seems like I just wish we could do a little more
And I wish
for
we could too.
our staff, our
If
employees.
we did no COLA, we didn't do any COLA, but we're doing from 0 to the 2.5% to the 1% for exempt, that COLA is costing us $225,000. That's how much just doing that little is impacting the budget.
So when we come back on the 15th, could we look at, see if there's anywhere that we can make any more cuts to bring that up a little bit? Even if it's to 3% for the non-exempt and a 1.5% for the exempt, or something.
There would need to be some
significant
significant cuts to the budget.
And let
because
me just add that departments have already cut significantly. I don't
Yes.
think that they can cut anymore.
It's like the fire chief was just up here, he said, there's no fluff in his budget. I can tell you that if we were to send this back to the departments, there may be some pushback. I don't see where they've already gone through one round of cuts. I don't see where they're going to come up with additional cuts to be able to do that. We
Sandra,
could-
this
yes,
doesn't
ma'am.
prohibit performance-based raises that department heads can
They
get
don't
during.
get
We don't have
performance.
budget.
We don't
We
do
don't
it.
have
They
the
don't do
budget.
performance.
If it's not in the budget,
That-
then
it's just stuff.
that's it, right?
There's no
Now,
performance.
what happened was, like, we had this discussion last week. Several years ago, we went out for a pay study. So we did the pay study. We implemented the pay study in 2 phases, all right? We were severely underpaid in a lot of positions. We brought that, our starting pay, I think, used to be $11. Our starting pay right now is $17 an hour. If you're going to work in public works, if you're going to work in meter reader, you're going to be like a field tech 1 or utility tech 1.
Entry
Your starting
level.
pay is going to be $17 an hour.
Are we comparable to the
When
local
we
community?
can't compare ourselves to our surrounding cities because we don't have the budget and revenue that our surrounding cities have. We compared ourselves to cities our size with our operating budget and revenue. See, that's the problem. When we start comparing ourselves to Portland and Rockport and Port A,
Yeah.
we don't have
And
the
we're
tax
not raising
base.
taxes, so.
No.
We don't have that tax base to
That
be
makes
able to
sense.
compare ourselves to that. And it's difficult to explain to the employee when they say, well, Portland is paying us this much more. We just can't afford that. That's the reality that we're in right now. We would love to give our employees more. We would love to do that, but it's just the reality is that we just can't afford it right now.
We can do it if we want to raise taxes.
Yeah, and
Yes.
People revolt on us.
yeah, then somebody better shock me.
You
when I fall
do
over on the
have
floor up
room
there.
to raise the
Oh, no,
taxes.
Sandra asked me that in our meeting. Yeah, she brought that up.
You could. I'm not going to say no, but I'm not you all.
One of the things I think is important, a communication to get out to the employees, is letting them know, because Mary had mentioned that those insurance premiums
Yes.
were going to be paid by the city this year.
We-
And those
okay.
aren't going to be put on the employees, right?
No. Okay, let
Yeah,
me.
the increase.
The
So,
increase,
The
the
increase,
increase.
yes. We're having a 7.5% increase in our insurance, all right? So what we did was, any employee that has their children, their spouse, their family in the insurance is going to pay what they're paying right now. They're not going to see that 7.5% increase, because we didn't want to
Did they
give.
see that increase last year? Like on their?
No, we absorbed that also.
It was absorbed last year as well?
Yes. We didn't want to give the employee a 2.5% COLA and a 7.5% increase in insurance. So what we did is we're going to give you the 2.5% COLA, but we're going to absorb it. That comes out to roughly like $28,000 in that neighborhood. That's how much we're going to absorb in the budget to be able to, our employees not to see that impact on their paycheck every 2 weeks.
What insurance are we using right now?
United Health.
United Health.
Yes.
Do we do
We
a
did.
s- a
we did go
study
out-
to see, like, if any of the other healthcare organizations are offering any better insurance plans for our
We did go out
employees?
for a re-rate. We did go out to get other quotes from other providers. I believe the other bigger one is Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Cross
They
Blue
did not
Shield.
want to submit a quote to us. TML Insurance, which is the other provider, didn't submit a quote either. We got quotes from very obscure insurance companies that maybe
Not
had
big organizations.
Correct. That may not have the network that United Health has, and they may be a little bit cheaper, but then the level of care that the employee is going to
Do
receive.
they have, like, the tiers that they can sign up for, or is it just one tier?
It's just the one. It's just the one.
So what are, I mean,
Our
I don't know if
deductible.
they'll have those.
Our
Yeah.
deductible is $1,000.
Okay.
And oh shit, I'm so sorry. Our deductible is sorry about that. Our deductible is $1,000, and I think our out-of-pocket copay max is $3,000. So office visits, I want to say, let me look at my benefits real quick, and
Okay.
I don't want to lie to you. Give me a minute.
There was discussion last week about possibly giving additional.
Oh, yes, yes,
Oh,
I know
yeah.
what you're talking about.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so we had also discussed doing something in addition for the non-exempt.
For the exempt.
Sorry, for the exempt employees, and that was possibly doing an additional 2 personal days
So that would increase it from 3 days to 5 days for exempt employees.
for exempt employees.
Okay,
That was
I'm
something
gonna
we could
correct
do.
myself. So
Okay.
our deductible is $1,000 with a $4,000 out-of-pocket maximum if you go within the network.
Okay.
Okay, that's really what our deductible is. Let me see if I can get, Jesus. I can't bring up what my office visit, I want to say the office visit is $20 to $25, and the specialist is about $30.
That's average.
And then we have the pharmacy, which starts, I think, $10 generic.
Are
and-
you able to use the Walgreens pharmacy,
course.
or do you have to go to the CVS?
No.
Okay.
I've been to Walgreens. I go
Okay.
to Walgreens, so I can say that
Maybe
you
next
can.
year, I would just suggest trying again with the different insurance companies.
We try every year.
Do y'all try with Humana?
Well,
Does
Humana
that-
doesn't do a health insurance anymore. They've switched to just doing Medicare, Medicaid, one of the older
Okay.
things. We used to have Humana, and then we were one of their last groups, and then they switched their operating model, and they don't do group insurance anymore. They just do for this senior citizen coverage.
So is there consensus from the council to, I guess, add an additional 2 days of personal leave for
Absolutely.
exempt employees?
I'm for that. I make a
that would-
motion. Do we
Well,
make?
no.
That would
No?
help some
Well, we don't vote
morale.
on it, you
Oh.
just say, cool with it.
Okay, all right.
I thought you did, I'm sorry. Hey, just let me do that. I don't care.
I was listening to him.
Don't listen to me.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
hey,
mean,
that's-
if you
I'm cool
wanted
with
to
that.
also give
Yeah.
it to exempt and non-exempt.
Let's do that.
Relocation
Yes.
for
I didn't know
everyone.
that we could. That
Yeah,
we
you
could do
can, you can
non-exempt.
do it, yeah, but at that time you were talking about
Yes,
wanting to
at
do
that
more
time.
for exempt employees.
Yeah, at that time.
We
But
gotta-
yes, I'm definitely
I
for
like
that.
I do too. We gotta give it citizens.
We gotta get
Gotta
them
do
something.
something.
So then we'll
They
increase it.
deserve it.
Yeah,
I
From
agree.
3 to 5.
Our guys work hard and they deserve it.
Yes, they do.
Absolutely.
yep.
Anything else? 5 million is your answer.
5?
Yes.
For what?
I was close. I thought it was 5.5. Thanks, Sandra.
5.5 and change.
Is it really? Okay, well,
Thank you, Sandra.
for what's in the fund balance,
Oh,
contingency, that's pretty good. 5.5 million.
Moving on.
Oh, sorry there. Okay, now we're going into proposed street maintenance fee.
Okay, so I'm going to be presenting on a proposed street maintenance fee for your consideration. So why a street maintenance fee? It'll provide for dedicated funding of street repairs and upgrades. It addresses aging infrastructure and provides for long-term sustainability of our city streets. And who will be charged the fee? All utility customers within the city limits will be charged the street maintenance fee. That goes for residential, single and multifamily, commercial and industrial. The fee will be added to the monthly utility bill. An overview of the fee schedule is, it's a 2-tiered system for the first 5 years, and that will start October 2025 through September 2030. Residential will be charged $1.50 a month, commercial will be $3, and industrial will be $5. So the second 5 years, that'll jump for residential from $1.50 to $2.50, commercial from $3 to $5, and industrial from $5 to $7. We project that the revenue estimates will be on an annual basis will be $88,000. The first 5 years we anticipate will generate about $441,000, and then the second 5 years is $733,000. Now keep in mind, these numbers are based on the number of water accounts we have as of today. So that number will grow as new accounts are added. And the use of the funds, all of the revenue, every dollar that we collect will go to street resurfacing and reconstruction, pothole repair and maintenance. Funds will be tracked separately. There will be a dedicated fund where we will, where those revenues will go into. And we will submit annual reports to the council on the revenue that's collected. So a summary is we would start October 1st, and it applies to all inside city limit customers. It's a 2-tiered fee over a 10-year period. The first 5 years, we anticipate collecting $441,000, and in the second 5 years would be $733,000. I'd just like to add that many cities have implemented a street user fee, and it's as a means to fund ongoing street repairs. So if there's a consensus from the council to move forward, of course, there's no action today. This is just a presentation. Action can be brought to council for consideration at the next council meeting.
I'd like to recommend moving it to early November so that we could get more input from the residents, the ones that are paying this. And I mean, we haven't done it yet, so there won't be any problem waiting. you know, that way.
I'm fine with that.
Get
So-
more out. And
So are you okay with bringing it back for action, but making it effective November 1st?
yeah, we can bring it back to council November, act on it.
Okay,
I
that would
think.
allow us time to perhaps include it in the, include an insert or a flyer in the utility bills.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And push it out on social media and so
Yeah,
forth.
that way, if, you know, we can get the pros and cons, you know, more input from people in town.
Can we put it on the last October meeting to go in effect in November?
Well, we'd have to vote on it, and I think we ought to wait till November to pull the trigger on it, to give it a little more time. I mean, it's not gonna hurt anything, because we've never done it before. It's something.
So when do you want me to bring it back for approval?
I'd say the first council meeting in November.
The first council meeting, but if it's gonna go into effect November 1st,
We need to bring it back in October.
we need to bring it back in October.
Can I make a comment?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I say something?
Yeah, come on, Donald.
Back in the 90s, Aransas Pass had a bunch of dirt roads in this town. I lived on 10th Street. It cost me $700 for my part of blacktop in 10th Street from Greenwood to DeBerry. Rice Street, where I live now, my mother lived there. She paid, I think it's about $2,400 to do 50 foot on Rice and 150 foot on McClung. Every house in this town is owned by somebody. Why can't the owners of those houses pay for their share of the street? You got houses on both sides, and the city wants to pay for the third part of it in the middle. It would still be cheaper than charging everybody $1.50 a month. We got so much stuff tacked to our water bill now, it's pathetic.
Yeah, that's just something I want to get
Yeah.
away from, is doing that charge like they did back then, but that's just me. Because that's a big chunk of money to cost
Yeah.
that one time.
And this is mostly gonna be for repairs, correct? Not
Well,
just the
it's
repairs.
used for just streets.
Yeah, streets, our streets
You
just
can let it
need,
build up, and you get
they-
enough in there,
they
you can
need
pave the
help.
street with it.
Well, you did lower our taxes, which I appreciate, but then you're gonna turn around and add fees? I mean, it's gonna, and then
Yeah,
I think on an average of a $100,000 home, just like a $100,000 home, the amount that you decrease the taxes,
Yeah.
this fee is gonna way exceed that.
Oh, yeah, I
So
agree.
just-
It's a done deal. It's just something to brainstorm.
wait
yeah,
for some
and
opinions
it's, and
over mine.
that's why we talked about making sure that, you know, our residents are aware of this fee. And I think for the average home, it's like $1.50 a month, right?
It's about,
It's
yes.
$1.50 a month.
Can I
And of
make a
course, that
comment?
can always
on their
be
water bill?
revisited if the council, you know, years down the road. I mean,
I think if residents knew that we need this to fix the streets, like, our streets are in bad shape. I mean, David can vouch for that, like, the street, I mean, paving them over and over, you know?
I do want to set expectations properly. If we're going to be getting 88,000 a year, just so you know, Wilson itself costs 88,000. So kind of think of equivalent to paving
Yeah.
one street per year, or if we end up doing Avenue A from Wheeler all the way down to the city limits, that's 450,000. So if we pave that one road, you would have to collect for the whole 5 years with no progress in
Without
streets,
touching
and
Right.
it could look bad. So I just want to set expectations, because the numbers Mr. Brumman was saying, those were back in the day. But the thing is that I remember 5 years ago where hot
don't
mix was
cost that,
$60 a ton. Now it's basically $105 a ton. So it's literally doubled these 5 years. So,
And we won't even see any of this
So
for,
I'm not against this. I just want you to have the proper expectations to make the proper
it's not gonna help us
decisions.
pave every street in
Yeah.
I'm
Aransas.
just
Correct.
concerned if we go forward that they're gonna be blowing David up with why I don't have a road, I pay $1.50 a month. You know what I mean? And-
Yeah, well, and that's giving them
We're already
time to come and
blowing
ask
But I mean,
questions.
but I think that the city needs, I think we need,
Yeah.
as
I mean, the other
citizens,
option is we just
education
don't
will
fix
come
the
in.
streets, and
Yeah,
that's,
I think that-
everybody's gonna be upset. I mean,
Yeah.
that was one of the main
I personally don't
concerns.
have a problem paying it. Like, I'll pay it. I've got.
I
I'll
believe
pay for-
Councilmember Martin had a question.
Well, I just make a comment, and this has a lot to do with what Hector said. Our citizens right now are very upset with council, and they all realize it was the previous council, not the current city council, on the dump transfer monthly fee or usage fee. yes, we lowered the taxes. Hector, I did ask Sandra last council meeting, and the average family would be affected by about a savings of $40 a month. At $1.50 a month, it's an $18 expense. So they're still going to see some kind of a savings, even if this fee is implemented. What I don't like is nickel and diming our citizens. Now, I think that we need to give them a once a month dump at no charge to our residents. After the 1 month dump, then charge them a fee. I think they're more likely to stomach the $1.50 fee, knowing they get the 1 monthly dump fee, as we did before. That would be the right thing to do.
Okay, what we were going to do, what I was proposing, we were going to do, we have a free day at the transfer station. That'll be September 24th. We're going to do 4 free days. We do an annual cleanup once a year, in addition to the 4 free days at the transfer station. We're going to do 1 every quarter.
One every quarter.
Yeah, 1 every quarter. If we're able to, we could possibly add another one in there, but with that, they're already getting 5 or 6 free days at the transfer station.
Right, but they are used to anytime they want to go. You just get a copy of your water bill or your receipt that you paid, and you can go whenever you want. I mean, I know we used it religiously.
And when
but for the
council-
average citizen, a $10 dump, that's a lot of money.
When council implemented the transfer station fee, we did away with the monthly voucher. So in place of that, we're doing the 4 free days at the transfer station plus the annual cleanup.
Right.
I think the main thing is letting the citizens know they do have a free day.
Yeah.
Because I don't
Yeah.
think very many people know that right now. Or that
It's-
that's coming.
it's fairly
Yes, it
new.
hasn't-
Yeah,
it
it's
hasn't
fairly-
happened,
it's
but
new.
Yes, we're going to
Yeah.
start to push that out.
That's gonna be, and see what the response is, and if the response
Yeah.
isn't good, then we can maybe
Work on it
adjust.
from
But
there.
I agree,
Yeah.
I mean, I agree, we've gotta do something with the dump thing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I just think
I mean, we're seeing
with that,
stuff
and then
dumped
ask them
more.
to say, oh, by the way, can you spend another $1.50 a month? Even though everybody, I would imagine, would agree that we need to
We
do
need
something
it.
for our
Yeah.
streets. We need to raise the funds. I think doing this right behind the dump fee is not going to go over very well.
Fair.
Well, going back to the street maintenance fee, I know you wanted to go into effect November 1st. Our council meetings are October 6th and October the 20th.
20th? Do it
The
October
20th?
20th, yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll bring it back on the 20th. Thank you.
Okay, all right, and now we're gonna go into conditional use permit renewal for Richard Titus, tabled on August 18, 2025, and is there a motion to untable this item?
Make a motion, we untable it.
Okay, we got a motion, we have a second?
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, all opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, now, public hearing on request for renewal of a conditional use permit submitted by Richard Titus to allow a recreational vehicle to be placed on a lot 26 and 27 of Block 443, commonly known as 624 South Rice Street, as depicted in Exhibits 1 and 2, and used as a temporary dwelling for security purposes during construction of a single-family dwelling. And a public hearing is now open. Do we have anyone that wish to speak on this?
Okay. I've looked over what people have submitted. We have a lot of people that are in favor. There's 7 people that have submitted that they are in favor of Richard Titus being able to continue to build his house, and we have 3 opposed. What I'd personally like to do is to have code enforcement and building inspection have Joseph and Tito go by and see where he's at in accordance to where he should be and what needs to be done. One of the people that was opposed, they were concerned about combustible items along a fence line, and that if the place caught on fire, it's going to catch their place on fire. So I think that needs to be looked at. Personally, when I drove by, I didn't have a problem. I didn't see an RV. I don't want to be putting anyone out of their home. And but I also did have issue with the state that the place looked. And so I want to see that he is keeping up to code and keeping the place clean while he's working, and all of those kind of things. And make sure that what he is doing is up to code so that it isn't a endangerment to anybody else. So that's my recommendation.
Well, I went by and his scaffolding is wood. That's a severe fire hazard. I don't know how we're allowing that. I would like to see, as well as Elise, a true inspection to make sure that everything that he has done to this point is up to par and up to code. There's absolutely no reason to allow him to move forward if what he's done is not done correctly. But seeing that the scaffolding is made out of wood leaves room for one to believe there's a lot of stuff that may not be where it needs to be. If we allow this, he has submitted a timeline. That's a past timeline. I want a future timeline. I want it done by the month of what he's going to do every month to complete this task in a timely fashion. And would require you guys to go out quarterly. Okay, you said you're going to do this in October, November, December. Let's check it off. It's good. You're good to go. And at the end of the time, if he doesn't complete it, then sorry, guy, you got to be gone. But we have got to make sure that everything is where it needs to be today.
So would y'all guys like to table this and bring it back on further review from the building department?
Building
I'd like.
inspection report and a future timeline from Richard Titus saying how he's going to make this project, or how he's going to finish this project over the next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know if there's a code on scaffolding for him. I have no idea.
Well, if I were his neighbor, I wouldn't be too happy, because if that wood catches on fire, that's going to be a huge fire.
That'd be okay, wouldn't it, Mr. Asasi, doing that way?
Because I don't know
Okay.
that wood is wood treated for fire.
Yeah, we could,
Yeah, at this point, you can table it and then have inspection go out there and give you just a starting point, make sure
And
that
then-
he's up to par.
and then untable it,
Yeah,
we'll
up
cut
to
a
now and
future
then
date.
go from there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Chief, if you can go out and make sure that wood for the scaffolding is fire treated wood or not.
I've done some pretty janky things in construction myself.
That's fine.
But as far as fire code, there's nothing in the fire code governing scaffolding.
Yeah, I don't think that's
That's scary.
I think he can be as risky as he wants doing, if it's only going to hurt himself, but I think that
And
we need to still.
potentially the neighbors.
Okay.
I don't know. That's why we'll put up to you guys. Y'all are the professionals.
No, let's
Do-
table it
do I need to
for
make a
2
motion to
weeks.
table it?
Let me close this first, then
Okay.
you can do we have anybody else wish to speak on this? Okay, well, I declare this public hearing closed. And now we're gonna consider and act on ordinance granting a renewal of a conditional use permit to Richard Titus to allow a recreational vehicle to be placed onto lot 25 and 27 of block 443, commonly known as 624 South Wright Street at Rife Street, as depicted in exhibits 1 and 2, and used as a temporary dwelling for security purposes during construction of a single-family dwelling.
I'll make a motion, we table this till the next meeting at the, shoot, I wasn't gonna do that, but nobody said anything.
I didn't know you were waiting on me.
Considering an act on an ordinance granting a renewal of conditional use permit to Richard Titus to allow recreational vehicle to be placed on the lot at 26 and 27, block 443, commonly known as 6024 South Rife Street, as depicted in the photos, and with the conditions that, as other council have said, that be checked by code enforcement and yeah, you. But the other thing about it is this needs to be, all this needs to be brought up in presence of Richard Titus, and he's not here. So we bring that back up again. at the next meeting where he is here to tell him what we expect to be done. That's the end of my motion.
So that would be for the September 15th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries. Okay, now we're going into action items and consider an act on a resolution approving a 3-year tax abatement with Rabagos Healthcare, PLLC, DBA, Stat Care, Urgent Care.
Okay, let me
Got
just
it
say
right.
that the next two items, 9.1 and 9.2, are related to incentives to Stat Care, Urgent Care. The first one is the tax abatement for a 3-year period. The second one is waiving permit, inspection, and tap fees.
And the tax notice will start whenever the issuance of certificate of occupancy is.
Yes,
right?
that is when the tax
Okay.
abatement will begin.
Okay. All right, do we have a motion?
I make a motion to consider and act on resolution approving a 3-year tax abatement with Rabagos Healthcare, PLLC, DBA, Stat Care, Urgent Care.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second.
I'll second it.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now consider an act on waiving all permitting, inspection, and tap fees for Rabagos Healthcare, PLCC, DBA, Stat Care, Urgent Care located at
Zero.
Zero?
Zero.
Yeah, it's got
It's
zeros.
not
I heard
addressed
zero.
yet.
Okay, West Weaver, Aransas Pass, Texas.
I make a motion to consider and act on waiving all permitting, inspection, and tap fees for Rabagos Healthcare, PLLC, DBA, Stat Care, Urgent Care, located at 0 West Wheeler, Aransas Pass, Texas.
Okay,
Second.
we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
And this is Mr. Rabagos.
Hello, good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Robert Rabagos. I'm the the COO and the CFO of Stat Care Urgent Care Clinic. My wife is Catherine C. Rabagos, and she is the president and CEO of Stat Care Urgent Care. Of course, she is a board-certified family nurse practitioner. And a few months ago, my brother, Ray Rabagos here, who is the president and CEO of National First Responders Training Complex, was reached out by Ruth, council member Ruth Smith, and says, hey, do you know anyone that has an urgent care that can come out to Aransas Pass? Well, my brother says, well, my brother has an urgent care. Him and his wife own several. So that being said, Ruth had reached out to me and my wife, and after several phone calls, we had a meeting with Mayor Knight and Mrs. Smith. And after doing some data and some collective research on the community, we saw that this community is booming. It seems that the council members, the mayor is pro-growth here in Aransas Pass. And so after researching all the members and the mayor, we decided to go ahead and agree to come and open our 7th location here in Aransas Pass. And that being said, Stat Care Urgent Care, of course, was founded in 2013 by my wife and myself, and the clinic was in the community of Kingsville, and since then, Stat Care has expanded with 5 additional locations in Calallen, Corpus Christi, and we do have one in Rockport. That being said, this location will be our 7th clinic in the Coastal Bend. Stat Care Urgent Care is just an urgent care clinic. We are not an emergency room. If you're having a crisis that has anything to do with like chest pain or a stroke, you have to call 911. If you come to our clinic, we will call 911 for you, but we will get you stable, get you to where you can get the proper care. We are an urgent care clinic. We try to provide high quality and affordable health care to our communities that we service. Our clinics are capable of performing many points of care testings with rapid results, as well as IV hydration, splinting application, laceration repairs. We're able to draw labs, and within 24 hours, we will get those results and get them to you as well. And we also provide many other services. So that being said, we are excited. Hopefully, in the next few months, we will be able to break ground. We're currently in negotiations with the builder and, of course, in contact with the architect. And hopefully in 2 to 3 months, we'll be able to break ground, and by 2026, we'll have the doors open here.
I am very excited. Welcome.
Thank you.
Than you so much.
Any other questions?
This is just huge for our community. I mean, it's been a long time coming, and I'm just very excited and happy for our citizens. Like, this is our seniors. You know, I've told you the story about my neighbor who passed. I hope I don't get upset, but he would come, and that's what he would tell me. He's like, Ruth, if you don't do anything else, please just get us an urgent care. So I just want to say thank you to you, your wife, and also to Ray. You know, I wouldn't have met you if it wasn't for him. So, you know, I just appreciate everything that you guys are doing for our community.
Yes, well, we hope to serve the community here, and like I said, we are affordable. If you don't have insurance, we have affordable pricing as well, and we do accept Medicare, all kinds of insurances. So.
And for our employees too, y'all take United Healthcare.
Yes, we do. Yes.
Yep.
So thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray.
Okay, now we're going to consider an act on approving a resolution of the City Council of the City of Aransas Pass, Texas, supporting the designation of Aransas Pass as the kayak capital of Texas and providing an effective date.
Hi, good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm here trying to start the legislative process for the next 2 years to be the kayak capital of Texas. We cannot have the redfish one because Rockport has it right now, which should have been ours, but anyway, we do have some really nice kayak trails, and we are starting to complement that with the developments out there. And one of the first steps in this process by our state rep is for us to get a unified decision from the council. Sometimes you have communities that want 3 different things, and so it makes it really hard to get designated as one. And so what Todd Hunter has told me is that this resolution is the first step requesting to demonstrate that Aransas Pass is unified in pursuing this designation. Kayaking already brings thousands of visitors. The designation helps us capture more tourism dollars, supporting guides, restaurants, shops, and lodging. The kayak capital of Texas gives Aransas Pass a clear identity that sets us apart from other coastal destinations and promotes eco-friendly recreation. So I just would like for y'all to sign a resolution and support those efforts.
Do you have a motion?
I'll make a motion to act on the resolution to make Aransas Pass a kayak capital of Texas.
Thank you.
Second.
That's very exciting.
Effective date.
I mean, it's a 2-year process, so for the legislative session, it'll be the next round. But you could do that now, and then the state will get the approval later for it.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever you just said.
We approve what Rosemary just
Okay,
said.
so there was a motion, I didn't hear a second.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay right here because I'm next to get
All right, consider an act to approve a gateway monument agreement between the Texas Department of Transportation and the City of Aransas Pass for the welcome sign.
Okay, so I think back in July is when we were talking about the monument sign coming into town, and you approved the funding for it through MDD. Part of that process to get that even started is a packet that we have to submit to TxDOT. And in that packet is a resolution for the city to get into an interlocal agreement with TxDOT at a later time. And so in order for us to submit the final packet for them for approval, for the engineer to start, we have to have this done as well.
Okay. All right, do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve a gateway monument agreement between Texas Department of Transportation and City of Aransas Pass for the welcome sign.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you, Rosemary.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you.
Okay, consider an act on issuing a request for proposals for the restroom remodeling at the Aransas Pass Civic Center with funding provided by the Aransas Pass Municipal Development District.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Jennifer Stacey. I haven't met all of you yet. I'm with the AP Civic Center. And I am here tonight requesting authorization to begin the RFP process for our restroom remodels. Our restroom remodels at the Civic Center?
And that's just to start the RFP process.
Okay.
And that project will be funded by the Municipal Development District.
Okay, do we have a motion?
I make a motion to consider an act and issue on request for proposals for restroom remodeling at the Aransas Pass Civic Center with funding provided by the Aransas Pass Municipal Development District.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, any further discussion?
I actually have a question.
Okay.
When we saw the presentation prior, it had a kind of a breakdown of what they were looking at. Is that something we can talk about now, or there was just some things on there I didn't think were necessary?
Yeah, I believe, yes, you can ask the questions now.
Okay.
I believe the question you had was about the water fountain.
The water fountain, and then also the design fee, like,
Okay.
I feel like on the bathrooms, we shouldn't be hiring a designer. Let's just remodel them exactly the way they are with new stuff. That's just a waste of money. I mean, it's a bathroom.
So when I was the one that actually met with the contractor, so what we spoke about was basically getting a ballpark. He typically likes to use a designer. It's we added it in there because let's be frank, I don't know what you know what I mean. I'm not a designer. I don't know. And that was just her fee, and I know that she was on like the higher end. When we dig deeper onto what, okay, I'm sorry, I'm kind of going all over the place a little bit. The restrooms are top to bottom.
Right.
That's what the 288 was, or is, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we will be doing top to bottom. I couldn't exactly get like a solid quote because of everything that goes into it. The new stalls, the tile, he couldn't price that out for me, like very detailed. And the designer, that's what she would also be helping with, overseeing the contractors. And I'm not saying that we have to use a designer, but if we wanted her price to go into it, that's kind of why she's there now. I'm not saying that we have to use a designer. We don't have to go with the more expensive one.
Yes, well, this is just to go out for the RFP.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine then.
Mayor,
I just want to make sure that.
What year was the Civic Center built?
I believe it was 2007 or 8. I started with the Civic Center in 2011.
Yeah.
And it was just built a couple of years before that.
I mean, because quite frankly, the building's not even paid off. I think it's a complete waste of resources at this point, built in 2007, to even think about remodeling it when the building's not even paid off yet.
No, that's
Oh, it needs it.
that's the good part of it, because while MDD's paying the debt, then use them to pay for all
I
the.
just think it's a waste of resources, personally. Because I've been at Civic Center, I've used a restroom, I think it's gorgeous. And the building's not even paid for.
And I have to disagree.
Yeah,
I've been
difference
to
of
it.
opinion.
It needs updating bad. There's more than the restrooms. Other areas in that Civic
agree.
Center
I think
need
MDD
updating.
monies could be better spent right now.
Well, this is just for
elsewhere.
us to get estimates.
This is just for us to get an
Okay.
estimate,
Yeah.
yes, and then we'll take
And
it
then we
back.
can go from that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, then I make a motion to act on issuing a request for
I think-
proposals.
Yes,
Is that
okay.
okay? For a
Yeah, I already
restroom
made the
remodel?
motion, right?
Huh?
Yes, I believe the motion was already been
Oh, was
made
already
and
done?
seconded, yes, and we've already voted on it.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did, sorry.
We did.
Okay.
I had a dingbat moment, sorry, guys.
Okay.
It happens. You have kept me here too long.
Thank you.
So, but we gotta approve.
Okay, now, we'll go into
Sorry, I threw
consider,
it all off.
consider an act on approving the Aransas Pass Police Department to enter
No, we
into a five,
Jason, we didn't vote on it. We just seconded.
didn't vote on it.
And then discussed.
Okay.
That's correct.
So then, okay, so the motion was made by
I made the
Councilmember
motion.
Smith,
It's
seconded
by
by
Paul, sorry.
Chacon. Okay, he's called.
Okay, any further discussion?
I'm done.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Now we can move.
Sorry.
Okay, now, consider an act on approving the Aransas Pass Police Department to enter into a 5-year agreement with Axon for the purchase of TASER electronic control devices in the amount of $149,746.70 with funding provided by the Aransas Pass Crime Control and Prevention District.
So this is something that I had in our budget for the city to purchase, and it was part of the pay, or part of the cuts that we did to make sure that we could try to get as far down as we could. I approached the Crime Control Prevention District, Mr. Stansberry, and requested that they would put this on their board for discussion and possibly approving this so they can purchase this. That would ease how much you have to do with the city. They did agree to it, so I'm bringing it to the council to ask if I can go into agreement with Axon in the amount of $149,746.70. This is Mr. Canberry and I spoke about maybe doing a yearly part of it to hit the 5 years, and he wants to do the whole 5 years and pay up front.
Nice.
So this replaces our obsolete tasers that we have now that are well beyond its life.
And I think I asked you, this includes the training
Yes, ma'am.
for it as well, right? Okay.
We have training instructors that already are trained on the taser. So it also includes some gear and some training parts of it.
Yeah. And just thank you to the Crime Control Board, because I think we discussed this like when we were talking about the boat. And we were like, we need those tasers like as well, but so yeah, that's huge.
And I appreciate the
Thank you.
Crime Prevention District.
Yeah.
They've stepped up on
Absolutely.
Good deal. All right, so do we have a motion on the floor?
I make a motion to consider and act on approving the Aransas Pass Police Department to enter into a 5-year agreement with Axon for purchase of TASER electronic control devices in the amount of $149,746.70 with funding provided by the Aransas Pass Crime Control and Prevention District.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion?
Chief, how many taser deployments have you had this last year? Mr. Haskins, I do not have those numbers for you. I can give them for you, but I don't have them on hand right now. You have can you estimate maybe? Since I've been here in March, probably, and I'm just a ballpark 2. If I'm shooting at that, I'm pretty sure we've had at least one, but I don't know anything before March. Okay, thank you. Yes, sir.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, moving into consider and act on issuance of a RFP for a bank depository.
Me again. Hi. Okay, so this, our contract with Prosperity Bank, which is our current bank depository, is about to expire, and we're just needing to issue the RFP to get a 3-year contract with a 2-year renewal, with hopefully with Prosperity or any local bank here in Aransas Pass.
Okay.
I make a motion to act on issuance of a request for proposals for a bank deposit.
A second.
Okay, do we need to name the bank, Sandra, Mary?
No, this is just an RFP for a bank depository.
My bad. Okay. Got a motion, a second on the floor. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, consider an act on a issuance for a RFP for parking lights at Harbor Point Park.
Yeah, this is just for an RFP. We just need permission to bid out some lights at the harbor point. That's what the harbor is at, obviously. There's 29 street lights that are out there, but it's a little much for us to do in-house.
Yeah.
So this one will actually be contracted out. So we're gonna basically specify a specific model, specific brand, and see if we can get an electrical contractor or a general contractor to come and replace them all. Because doing 29, it's pretty high for us, and not to mention, we only have one electrician and a handful of guys. So this is a little bit out of our core competency in terms of like streets, drainage, water, sewer. So just recommending to do an RFP for this.
All right, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to act on issuance of a request for proposals for parking lights at Harbor Point Park.
Okay, we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion?
David, are these being tore up or just going out?
I think they're just going out, to be
They've-
honest.
they've been
It
out
could
for
be the water, it could
right.
just be the wrong kind of lights that were installed in the first place. I'm not really sure what the culprit is, but they're not on.
And it's not just bulbs,
Yeah, it's the fixtures.
the whole thing?
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, now we're gonna go into executive session, and we will have one item to discuss, and it's a Con Brown Harbor lease, Handsome Sailor, and it is 7:50 PM.
ma'am.
Okay, we're now going to convene an open session, and it is 8:33, and there is no action to be taken on the Combine Harbor Handsome Seller lease. And that being said, meeting adjourned.